I really think Games Workshop should team up with Nestle to make like a Warhammer themed ice cream thing. They could even call it Tyranids. Welcome to Boards and Swords. I'm Chris Renshaw, and we are back finally with another round of, I don't know what, this is my type of battle report video where I'm going to look at my terrible videos and comment on them and talk about how terrible they are and point out all the things that I could have done better. This is actually based, if you haven't seen the previous ones, you can go back and check them out. But this is actually 2 weeks after all of those happen, and this is the part where we've now stepped up to 50 power level instead of the 25 power level escalation crusade league that we've been doing. I filmed the first two battles. The third battle was in a poorly area, and this is when I thought I still was going to do audio and stuff in it. But quick caveat, played against Harlequins, died horribly to probably the worst game I have played in Warhammer to date. It was the least fun game, mainly not because of the way it played or the person I was playing against. It was, the mission was this thing called Meat Grinder, where it wasn't enough of just like, oh, you die and then that's the end of the game. No, your guys kept respawning. So it was just watching my dudes just get churned and churned all over again, over and over and over and over as they tried. They like would kill some stuff, but then they would come back, and it was like a 2-to-1 ratio on like my stuff dying versus his stuff dying. So that was no fun. The fourth game, memory card was full and I forgot to unload it. So I didn't get a chance to, I really wish that had been, because that was actually a really close game. It was me versus the Adepta Sororitas, the Sisters of Battle, and that was a really cool game, especially towards the end because I was losing. I definitely lost that game, but at the very end there was like 2 strike squad guys remaining that just like, I'm gonna charge this tank, and everybody was like, why are you doing this? They were like safe in cover, and then I'm like, everybody's dead, I want to get some points out of this, I'm gonna charge that tank. And so everyone was like, don't do that, and I'm like, I'm gonna charge the tank. And I charged the tank, and these 2 strike squad guys managed to finish off the tank. So it was a great piece to a great battle. So now this is game 5. We've stepped up and doubled our army. Basically, we've gone from 25 power level to 50. And at first, I was going to be like, oh, I don't have enough units to fully do this. But a couple things happened in my favor. First, I managed to go up the road, and there was a shop that had a couple of the specialist figures. So I managed to pick up a figure known as Castellan Crow. He's more of like a named figure, and paint him up kind of, in my opinion, it was kind of a rush job. So not my best work. And put him in the group. I also had the Razorback that I picked up at the same time as the Terminators. It's now in here as well. The Impulsor from the Strike Squad, or the Impulsor from the Combat Patrol Box, the Space Marines. Technically, Grey Knights don't have Impulsors. This is like a very special kind of vehicle, but I spend command points to bring it on as a separate detachment, and now it's like an allied unit. And then completing the ensemble, I found out that it is perfectly acceptable to bring in assassins into here, and I just so happen to have all 4 assassins from one of the first Games Workshop products I owned, which was this back when I was trying to figure out if I was going to even paint minis. I picked up this game, Assassinorum Executor Force. It was a one-time board game that they did back in like 2015, because I was like, oh, I'll paint it, and I can either use the units in 40K or I can play it as a board game, and this will let me know, and then I don't have to waste a bunch of stuff on painting and use somebody else's paints to try it out and see if I even like it. So I have all 4 assassins and managed to bring them out. I even did a little sprucing up of them from my original coats that I did. I just do a little bit of dry brushing to kind of spruce them up from the kind of basic painting that I had done before. So they're now into this game. So this is the first game at 50 power level, which is the equivalent-ish of about 1,000 points. So here we go. I'm playing against Tyranids, and we're going to jump right in. Yeah, I'm back and wearing a different shirt. I forgot to say what mission or whatever we're on, so don't make a big deal about it. This one is called Power of Words. And so the way this works is there are 3 different communication nodes on the map, and we start very close to each other. There's just this little dividing line, this kind of no man's zone. It's the closest I've ever like started where you're like right up on your enemy. So trying to take out these, as the attacker, trying to take out these communication nodes. They're trying to defend them, yada, 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 so on and so forth. Now to the battle. All right, so this is the new setup that we have over here. Hoping this works out better and lets me get stuff recorded because I can actually like point. I even enlarged my mouse cursor so I can like point out stuff. And we'll see how this goes. I'm just gonna kind of scrub through like I would normally do. All right, here you go. This is the layout. Got all the Tyranids over here. My peeps over here. I don't know what all the Tyranid stuff is. There's the little guys with fangs, like, and then there's another group of guys with like the long fang claw things that just look nasty. Big old Mamma Jamma. The HQ Broodlord thing here. These guys that are also nasty, but just have big shooty guns. And then on my side, or the Gene Stealers, they're somewhere. They haven't been popped up yet. They got all these places that they could pop up. On my side, you got the Strike Squad. You got Castellan Crow, which is new this time. You got the Warlord. You've got the Terminator Squad that's done me so well in the past. The brand new Vindicare Assassinator right here. Assassinator? Did I really say that? Assassin here. And then down at the bottom, you can see we've got the Impulsor that I'm just claiming my guys kind of found, even though that's technically another... that's a Primaris thing that my group can't have. It's legal. I took an auxiliary squadron. And then the Razorback down here on the corner. So... let's get in. I'm the attacker. I'm going first. So my first thought when I'm doing all this is this guy, this person here is too scary. I don't like it. It terrifies me. It needs to go down. I was trying to think of like my strategy with the orcs. Where I was like, focus fire and take it out. So I'm like, yeah, let's get everybody into position here, and let's. I'm not going to move the strike squad so they can get, the rapid fire. And then for some reason, I moved. All right, I'm watching this like after the fact. I'm like, why did I do that? I could have moved them like this way. And like, where are they going to go? Where are these things going to go? Why did I do that? That is ridiculous. Like I should have like come around this way. They've got line of sight, so they could easily just come around this way and come into this like gap in here, and they would have been fine. Sure, they would have gotten like attacked by these, but whatever. This is dumb. This is dumb right here. Why did I do that? So checking range, and this is when the psychic phase comes in, and you can see all my wonderful hair. So I'm checking range to see who's the closest. So in the midst of doing that smite, I think I rolled Perils of the Warp, so one of my guys took a damage. So you smite. This is the closest enemy unit, so I'm whittling that down so that I can get in and do some damage here. This bright white thing over here, this is all like the battle scribe sheets, because somebody told me, it was like, oh, you should have all that printed out instead of like just scrolling through it on an iPad. But they failed to mention that now I'm just like flipping through, like going up and down all the pages being like, where's my unit? So it's like I'm going to scroll either way, whether it's on paper, flipping through all the pages, especially when you get to like the huge amounts of armies. So this is where I actually have an upgrade now, because this is Crusade. These guys can do this Cybolt ammunition thing, so they can like improve their armor penetration. Can you say the word penetration without being... Can you say the word penetration without joking? It's really hard to say that with a straight face. But their AP, it improves their AP. It's even hard to say P. I'm a child. I'm just a child. But improves their and also lets me do additional damage depending on the rolls I get. So shooting comes in, and boom! The rest of these guys, they're gone. They're out of here. All right, we're gonna rotate now, and we're gonna focus fire on this dude. Yeah, now this is where I'm gonna get my head out of the way. Get it out of here. I don't want you seeing any dandruff or whatever I have. Go, move away. So I'm measuring a distance. I'm using that awesome Exodus rifle. And it's only got one hit. This is me asking how heavy works, because the first time I'm really firing with a heavy weapon. So I'm like, how does this work again? Because I didn't listen last time and read up on how my units work. So I'm kind of making this up as I go along again. So this is the part where I get to explain how, this guy is so awesome. He gets AP -3 shot. He only has one hot chance to hit, but they can't use invuln saves. It's so good. So good. It's hard to hit with it, but so good. And they roll a 1. So that's the damage on here, which means that triggers the other special effect of the assassin, which is headshot, where I just get to keep rolling and it does mortal wounds until I don't pass a save. So like I roll a 3. As long as I roll a 3 up, I do a wound, then I roll. As long as I pass a 4 up, I do a wound. I keep going and it keeps increasing until I fail a save. And it's down to like four wounds. This thing's down to like 4 wounds left. For some reason, I'm shooting this group over here because I think I'm trying because I think my strategy, I had to back up to make sure. So that I'm using the strike squad to attack this group here. I think because in my head, I was wanting to, because it's like 20 shots and just try and use that to whittle it down versus trying to take the 4 out here. Maybe I was saving that for the big cannons here. I don't know why I wouldn't just attack with this first and then use that to clean up. It's so weird. Oh, I think I took these out because the lookouts her. That might have been why. All right, so tanks are coming in and shooting now. It's just tank's got 2 las cannons. It's got storm bolters and a hunter killer missile. And then this one's got missiles. It's got the stubber. And I think it's got storm bolters here on the side. And I managed to take it out. Boom. This big, huge monster dude is dead. It's gone. Get it out of here. It's gone. It went poof. Those little smokestack thingies on top just went poof. I'm going to try my best to try and do some more shots. I don't think the rest of the shots on this one, I don't remember it doing much damage. Especially the guys are out of range. I managed to get like a wound on one of these. Big deal. No big deal. This is me trying to charge. And, failing to do that. That would have been a big deal. So this is, now we switch to their phase. They're moving the Broodlord in to fill that nice little open gap right here where that, what was it? I forgot what it's called. Big Mamma Jamma thingy's called. These guys are going to come out to play from behind their little shelter area. So then this remaining squad here is going to run up on my terms. Oh, yeah, I forgot about this. I forgot to even mention this when I was set up. Yeah, this thing was like buried underground the whole time. So he cops up to play. And, of course, oh, my God, I was like, oh, crap, that is not good. Don't likey. Me no likey. And then now, of course, the Gene Stealers pop up to play. Yeah, and by come up to play, I mean, like, a lot of them come up to play. And they just like maul. They go right for the strike squad. So she's trying to take out the assassin here, who's on a terrain or in next to a terrain piece, so he's a little bit harder to hit. So I missed it somewhere, but between the shooting, between these guys and these guys, they managed to take out one of the Terminators right off the bat. And then as everything gets in close and we get into the first charge phase, everybody else gets kind of surrounded on the term side. She decides to avoid these guys. It just comes straight in to get rid of those Terminators. My warlord's like, no, not yet. I will heroically intervene in a heroic intervention thingy that lets me jump into the battle here on the other side. But it doesn't matter because that entire pile of gene stealers these guys are just like, at this point, they're just like, oh my God, there's just so many bugs. I don't like this at all. Didn't somebody bring the weed whacker or somebody bring some bug spray? Where's the DEET? Somebody get me the DEET. So meanwhile, Crow's also has a special ability which has him a further heroic intervention. So he's like, I will try and help you guys. Don't worry. I've got the bug spray. I will come and help you. I know I'm not in Terminator armor, but I can do some stuff. I do have a wickedly cool blade that like talks to me and junk. I'm going to go ahead and pause it there because I will say I doubt I did it in here because I didn't really know about it because although I have these nice little cards that you see over here, I didn't read them all because again, we're going to go back to point whatever where it's like, know your army. And I didn't know about it. It's just a basic command point ability you can do where you can spend a command point to counteroffensive and jump into the order of battle. Because normally her charge stuff would attack first and then my stuff would respond. But what I could do is I can interrupt that. So as soon as one thing attacks, I can interrupt that and say, okay, well, these dudes that are in combat as well, they're going to attack now. So depending on which side attacked first, if it didn't kill the terms, I could spend a CP and let the terms do one last kind of not shooting, but attacking, weed whacking before they get finished out by the other side. Oh, I did remember counteroffensive. Okay, I'm surprised here. And it's 2 CP, not 1. Don't hate me. Huzzah, and between all the different attacks, they managed to, like, take out the pointy dudes. No more of the little, huge, nasty red claw dudes. They're gone. Huzzah. We're still on turn 1, by the way, folks. Now, Castellan here, Crow here, is using his blade that's talked to him that's like, do it. Kill people with me. He's like, I don't want to, but they're bugs, and I need to get rid of them. It's like, it's okay. But sadly, the Terminators didn't make it through the rest of that round there. But we're finally on to round 2. Round 2, I've still got Castellan Crow here. We got the Warlord here. We got the Assassin, the 2 tanks, and the Strike Squad back there. Everybody's up on her side. Still got the Broodlord. Got all this group of gene stealers. I think this is multiple groups. These plasma doohickey thingies back here, and then this thing. I don't like this thing at all. So yeah, my solution to the movement thing here, not let's move like up and around this way. Nope, we're gonna move like on top there. That's all cool. Now we're trying to figure out all the psychics. I move the guys up here because I'm like, I'm going to get up and around, like on top of these guys kind of thing. So now it's psychic time. I'm going to use my psychic to kind of mortal wound, at least thin the herd a little bit here. Oh, I gated. Yes, that's right. I decided to gate Crow away to get him out of combat so he could shoot. So Crow disappears from right here, and I believe I'm going to put him back up here in this area. I'm just trying to get measured because it's got to be 9 inches away. So he's just like, you guys think you were going to kill me? Smoke bomb! And takes off. Or at least the other guy's like, duck, and throws a smoke bomb, something like that. So now I'm like, I got this big dude here, but this guy's affecting my psychic attacks. So unfortunately, I have to stop and not look at the guy, the big, huge, terrifying thing that's overlooming, because I'm getting orders over the radio that's like, shoot this thing that's keeping us from doing our special stuff. And I'm like, I want to shoot that big thing that's right overhand. And they're like, no, shoot this thing over here. So I managed to do some wounds, but not kill it off with the assassin. Didn't get all the headshot rolls I needed to finish it off. You'll notice that the assassin never really gets the kill. It just weakens everybody. And then somebody else picks him off. So the assassin never gets any, like, and this is through like every game. The assassin never actually kills somebody. It just usually does like a heck ton of damage, but doesn't finish the job. Somebody else just comes in and is like, boop, I'm getting the XP. So Castellan up here, Crow. I keep calling him like Castellan's his first name, but Crow's going to be shooting here at the Broodlord. We're going to try and finish that off. So Strike Squad's going to go here, and they're going to unload, and they're going to be like, we need to kill them down before they get close to us. Ah. They just killed a bunch of Terminators. We're guys in normal armor. We stand no chance if they get on top of us. Ah. And now, with all that stuff free, everyone's looking at that Brute Lord being like, we're going to charge this dude. So Crow moves in. The Strike Squad's going to move in. They managed to make it. So the Brute Lord's like, I'm surrounded now. Oh, yeah. And then we finish it off with we got some attacks going in, and it dies. There's a lot of less stuff on the battlefield. That first round took forever. Everything else was very quick after that. Just because the amount of models that were on that table that first round versus round 2 was vastly different on both sides. So now it's time for her round 2. She's going to move that big, huge thing. I don't know what it is. Spike thing. She's going to move these guys back so they can kind of control. They're behind cover. And now they're situated back between these 2 control points, which, we've still got, objectives and stuff. But at this point, it looks like it's probably going to be because this is still the end of round 2. So it looks like this is going to be over by units versus the actual control points. So, of course, between these guys, or these plasma peeps, and this thing, whatever it is, they start whittling down the Strike Squad. So watch them disappear. Boop. Bye-bye. So this is going to charge. It's going to sit on that point, and it managed to make enough charge to get up behind it because it's now on the point here, and it's now on the bell like, surprise, motherfuckers. I'm behind you guys. And my guys are like, oh no, we're going to die. And Crow's probably there like, don't worry, brothers. We shall fare the day. I don't know what I'm saying, but it sounds important. But luckily, I managed to, even through all that battle, keep some of the units. So let me back it up so you can see when she removes it off the plate here. Yeah, so I've technically got 1 dude standing, and then Castellan here. So that makes it 2 versus 1 units. So I technically still control this control point and get some points. So now we're back. Round 3 now. My turn. Everybody's getting so the brother captain's like, all right, you guys need a Terminator now that all the Terminator killers are gone. Now the Terminators have been terminated. Yeah. I'm going to come in and be the hero now. So we're going to use all of our psychic stuff to try and pour on some mortal wounds. So now that my guys don't have that whole psychic inhibitor thingy, they're going to do more psychic stuff at a little bit better since the Broodlord's gone. So now we're back to shooting, and the tanks are going to unload into this thing first, because my hope is I can kill this. These guys are no longer in combat. They can then fire at these guys. Oh. No, that's what I should have done. But instead, I'm going to worry about taking out these guys and then hope that on the attacks I kill these. No, I should have put on the heat taken this out, and then fired into these. This is weird, having not doing this immediately afterwards where I've played and I've learned a lot of stuff, to then go back and watch this and be like, no, why did you do that? Don't do that. Go after that thing. Yeah, so I finished shooting. This guy still remains, and I wasn't able to shoot because these guys are in combat. Instead, I could have focused and killed that thing, this thing here, and I could have opened fire / charged. I'm so angry. Why did I do that? Instead, he's going to charge up. The assassin, I'm measuring to see if the assassin can charge, but no. Well, not that would really do anything. So instead, since this thing's still alive, it gets to attack too, and attack my brother captain. And then basically we get to her turn. She's not moving anybody because she's engaged in combat there. She's holding points there. There's no real reason to move. She's scoring points. So she goes and manages to, not surprisingly, kill anything because she didn't charge anything. So I go first on attacks this time. And because Crow's got his cool special ability with he's dealing extra mortal wounds when his attack, I believe Crow is the one that manages to get the kill on the Broodlord, or the big spiky tendril thingy. So then we get back to the top of this. Now we're at the top of round 3. No. This is round 4, I believe. Top of round 4. And at this point, my guys are like, we must kill. We must avenge our fallen brethren. Look at, like, these tanks are just like, law, bro, it's okay. We're all good here. And, you know, there's just like, so we got the brother captain still. The tanks are going to be like, law, you guys scared? We good, y'all. And so and then we got Crow here, and then the last man standing of the strike squad. And then basically everybody's just going to pour into those last two little plasma bug things and finish it off. And then that is second win for me. Second win for me. Boom, 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 boom. Boom, boom, boom. All right, so what did I learn here? Well, I learned probably more watching this after the fact than I did actually having played that. From the actual game, I learned that I shouldn't be as worried about mobs. I between the orc run and this run, I was really nervous about playing these two armies because it's just a ginormous amount of figures compared to like my relatively small amounts. But I'm packing some heat, and especially at range, I'm doing a lot of damage at range, and I really need to take advantage of that, especially with the psychic wounds on top, giving me an extra phase to kind of deal in that damage. So I gotta remember that sort of thing. Even the focus fire kind of helps whittle down those numbers of shots. Looking back at this, I can definitely tell that just positioning and moving, dealing with those tanks and moving them, it helped in this game in the sense that they were still around to kind of help finish and clean up at the end, but it didn't feel like I was really using them. They were just kind of sitting back there. And sure, they're just like poking off, firing damage, but I could have moved them in on some of those positions and gotten some points earlier in the game versus waiting until everything was like peeled out and then kind of moving in to finish up the job. So, and then you saw there where I was talking about I really should have attacked and finished off. This goes back to the splitting your fire thing. I really should have focus fired and killed that big basilisk, whatever, big huge thing. Finished it off, especially if I could have done that during the shooting phase. That would have freed up those guys to then attack those plasma dudes and put some damage into them. And that was like round 3. So I could have finished this a round earlier, if I had, depending on how the rolls went, if I could have finished off that big basilisk thing during the shooting phase, had my other guys free to shoot at the plasma dudes, and then charged during the charging phase, charged everybody that direction, I could have really had a lot there, and there would have been less damage that I would have had to avoid, et cetera, et cetera. So those are kind of the big things I learned here. What did you learn, aside from the fact I still suck, from this video? Let me know down in the comments below. Make sure you also like and subscribe, because every like and subscribe on this video, that's one Terminator that could have been saved that didn't make it. So, meanwhile, make sure to follow me on social media. And in the meantime, thanks for watching, and I will see you next time.